Hey peeps, Dan here in France. Now you're probably watching this movie either because you follow my trips around the world or you're interested in the Tour de France and you want to go head there and follow it. Now I've just done 2 weeks following the Tour de France, not doing the whole Tour de France. It goes for about 3 weeks and finishes in Paris. I'm actually heading back on a mammoth journey back to Paris now, spend a few days there and then fly back home. But I thought I'd make a video to help you guys when you're following the Tour de France in a camper van. It's not the easiest thing to do. It definitely was a lot harder than I expected. Be prepared for plenty of windshields of bugs, beautiful countryside, plenty of promo gear given away, weird weather. Like I had almost every single day raining. Now this is unusual for European summer. You can see now it's just come good in the last few days, and it's actually 33 degrees today, which is cracking weather. You're gonna want to see as much as the tour as you can, but you will get burnt out if you try and do every single stage. Not trying to say that you can't do every single stage, but I think you really have to plan ahead if you want to do every stage. I started off trying to do every stage. It started in Leeds in England, and I decided not to do those first 3 stages, and I met up with it in France. Now I can't tell you how to do the whole tour, each town and all that, because it changes every single year. So the best thing to do is to go on the Tour de France website, have a look at next year's Tour de France and work out which towns it goes through. I've got a camper van here. Now I hired mine through WeVan. I'll leave the details below. These vans, magnifique. Such a pleasure to drive, so smooth, so roomy. They got plenty of power. The top pops right up. Electronic motor just pushes it straight up. You can stand up in there. I'm pretty tall. I must be about 6'1" or so. I can stand up with plenty of room. There's a kitchen in there with sink and 2 cooking tops. All your utensils in there, plenty of storage for all your groceries. There's a whole heap of storage at the back, up the top at the back as well, and under this seat behind me for all your clothes. There's, I think it's about 30 or 40 litres of water that this van stores for doing all your washing, brushing your teeth, and this is water that you actually put in there. So it's drinkable. There's a valve that empties all the water as well. There's a gas cylinder at the back for doing your cooking, and that's a swap and go gas bottle. I've got a video on our channel that will give you some information about swapping that gas bottle, because it wasn't as easy as I thought to just do a swap and go. Great to cook inside these vehicles. There's plenty of room for sleeping. This actually sleeps 4 people. Sorry, this is my navman talking in its Australian accent. Love it. Touch of home. So, like I was saying, this van sleeps up to 4 people. Keep left. It sleeps up to 4 people. Now, I think 4 people might be a bit cramped. I think 2 people. I'm doing a solo journey here following the tour, and it's amazing. So much room for 1 person. 2 people would be great. These chairs actually swivel around and face the other way. A table comes out in the middle, so you can actually have 4 people around the table eating dinner. There's a fridge in there where you can put all your groceries to cool everything, and that stays on the entire time. Even when the engine's off, it's still keeping cool. And my beers have been icy cold. I've even had orange juice in there, and it's turned into a nice Slurpee. So you can set the temperature up here. So you usually have it at about 3 or 4 is a good temperature. Any higher than that, it'll start to get really cold and start to freeze over. There's also inlet on the side for filling the van up with water. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure it holds 30 to 40 litres of water, and it'll tell you up here with these 3 or 4 bars of how much water is left in there. I've been able to fill mine up a few times. There's a water bag at the back that you fill up with water, and there's a tube, and you just hold it up and it just runs in. Now, my best bet is to fill the car completely with water and then lock it off, and then fill that bag up with water and store it in the back. That way, when you run out of the water, you aren't completely dry. You still got, I think it holds 10 litres, another 10 litres of water to get you through to the next petrol station or wherever you're going to go fill the van back up again. Now, since these vans don't have a toilet or a shower, you're gonna want to go to the bathroom. And since some of the drives are long, the best bet to do is go maybe grab a coffee in the morning from a cafe, and then you use their bathroom. Along the roads, there are so many petrol stations and just little, what you call it, like a rest area, and they generally have a toilet as well, and they're pretty nice. Like, even some of the petrol stations, they generally have a restaurant off to the side. Amazing, great food, and they're open pretty late, the restaurants. So really easy to get fuel for the car. This one takes gasoline, so make sure you fill up with the right fuel. But easy enough to use their bathrooms. Some of them even have showers in there. We can have a shower in, I guess, the restaurant / petrol station. Apart from that, you use your camping ground. When you're at a camping ground, you want to check your water as well. Up here on the dials, you can actually see how much water and how much power is left in the van. When you're driving, it recharges the batteries. I think there's 3 batteries in this van. So one's for the engine from memory, and 2 are for your general parts. So I'm guessing like popping the roof, the fridge running constantly, and then there's a power outlet for plugging in all your iPhone, your laptop, your cameras. So check this. I've never had a problem with it. It's since you're driving so much, it's just recharging the batteries. But there is a power outlet on the side. When you're at a camping ground, you can recharge the battery very easily. There's cables there. You just plug it in, and away you go. Now, getting your groceries for following the tour, I think the best bet would be to go to Carrefour. Now, this is a huge groceries chain over here. They have pretty much everything. They have clothing, electronics, batteries, all your groceries, all your grog, everything. And they're relatively cheap. Some of the first towns I went to, I didn't actually see a Carrefour, and the towns were expensive anyway, because I think they're more of a summer town, so they make a lot of money during summer. I did my groceries there, and it cost me an absolute bomb. So best bet is to find a Carrefour, stock up your pantry and your fridge with all your groceries, and there's plenty of them in all the decent sized towns. So you don't have to stock up completely. Like, you're not going to stock up for 2 weeks, but you want to get all your cereals and some bread, some croissants, some beer, some water, yogurt, cheese, meats, just stuff, food where you can actually sit there and just cruise and just enjoy the tour come through. Have a glass of wine, some cheese, and some dried meats. Great way to celebrate the tour coming through each stage. Now, when you're following the tour, you want to see France. You don't just want to see the tour. You paid all this money to get here. So when you hit the big towns or even the small towns, have a wander around, try the food, do some shopping, have a look at. There's always some kind of beautiful architecture at each place. Either it's a cathedral or castle or something. Go check it out, and I think you will have a well-rounded experience of France and the tour, and I think you'll be more relaxed as well when you're just following the tour non-stop. I don't think you're going to really enjoy France, and France is such a beautiful country. Landscape-wise, like I keep on saying, it is amazing. But even like the shopping, the people, the food, the cheese, OMG, the cheese and the wine and the dried meats, amazing. You need to get into that. So try and experience all these things while you're following the tour, and just do every couple of stages. But like I said, try and tick off the main ones, which I'd say would be the start, the finish, a hill climb, a corner, a sprint, and maybe a downhill. Once you've done those, then I don't know, the tour's your oyster. You can go choose wherever you want to go, and you can say, I think you'd have a good, well-rounded experience of the tour in general, and then the rest you just do whatever you want. You would even pull the pin and just start travelling around France. But if you come here to see the tour, do as much as you can, but experience the cities as well. Now for camera gear, following the Tour de France, I brought a whole heap of camera gear. My big Canon, a whole heap of lenses, a little point and shoot, and a couple of GoPros. But that's just because I was trying to get a whole heap of different angles, and I generally travel with all this gear when I cover a location. But for me, if I was giving you a tip to what kind of camera gear to take, I'd say a point and shoot camera is great. A GoPro is a great addition to add to your quiver. The GoPro just helps you get so much footage, especially if you get the suction cap mount. You can mount it to the front of your car on the outside or the inside, and just get time lapses of you following the journey, make videos. You can strap it to the side of your van and have it facing out as the tour comes through. You don't have to touch it, it just sits there and does its thing. The footage is amazing on them, so I think that would be a great accessory to take on the Tour de France, and they're so durable. Even if it's raining, you can have the GoPro outside just capturing the tour come through. So I think that's a great accessory to take on your journey. That's one thing you need, is a navman. It will save your life. With the amount of road blockages that the police put up, sometimes the night before, and just general road work going on around France, I've had highways blocked down, and I don't know, it's not the same as Australia with all these detour signs that just lead you all the way back onto the road. If I didn't have the navman or my iPhone, I still would be in Paris, I guess. It has saved my journey, and it does make the trip a lot faster. You can just type in the next town that you want to go to, but once you get to that town, you really need to know where the tour comes through, because they don't always just swing straight through the middle of the town. And some of the areas are really small roads or small streets, or right off the beaten track. So what I did was I used my navman to actually get to the town. I used my iPhone with Google Maps to really pinpoint streets. I found the Google Maps was really good inside the towns, and I don't think you actually need to have internet reception to use the Google Maps. I'm pretty sure I used it many times without having any reception. I also use the Tour de France app. Now this app's great. It shows you every single stage, what time they start, because every day they start generally a different time. They never start in the morning that I found. They always start around 12:30 to 2:50, around these times. And there are some times where they have a day off. So the Tour de France app is great. I know it's on the iPhone, I'm sure it's on the Android as well. That way you can track what's happening each day. It has a map of the whole tour for that day, how many kilometers it is, what streets. You can zoom into that map and find out which streets it goes through. So I use that in a collaboration with my navman, my TomTom, and my Google Maps as well, to find exactly where I wanted to be. Also on the Tour de France map, it will actually show you within that stage where the hill climbs are, what category, if it's 1 or 3 of the climb it is, and where the sprints are. So it's very helpful. So if you've just watched the stage and tomorrow you want to watch another stage, you can go, look, I want to watch a hill climb. So you go look on there might be 3 or 4 hill climbs, might be category 2, category 1, and you want to see real steep ones, so you go to category 1, which is really steep. So in France, I guess most of you guys won't speak French, so there's going to be a language barrier.
Le pneumatique Belfast. Pouvez avancer au prochain guichet, s'il vous plaît, merci.
Do you speak English?
You want to learn just some basics to help you get through. Merci, which is thank you. Parlez-vous anglais is do you speak French? It's always a nice way to start the conversation. Even if they say no, you've pretty much got nothing else to say, but you've actually tried to speak their language to start off with. Not gracias, isn't that Spanish? Au revoir is goodbye, and bonjour is like, I guess like g'day. On top of that, there's a little book that I travel with to every single destination, and it breaks through every single language barrier. And this book, this is what I say to everyone, this is the best book I've never read. Here it is here. It's called Pointed. Great book. Now in this book, all it has is pictures of almost everything you could imagine. Actually, I don't know if I've been stumped on there yet. Actually, this car kind of broke down at a service station. Well, it didn't break down, but the battery, the lead on the battery popped off and the car just wouldn't start. I popped the bonnet and I saw what the problem was, but I needed like a tool to unloosen the bolt to tighten it back up. Pulled this book out because the guy at the petrol station didn't speak any English. Pointed to a tool, boom, he had a tool on the shelf, bought it for €10, fixed the car, back on the road. So this book, I'd invest in it, chuck it on your travels, and it's actually good fun to use as well. It'll get you out of the stickiest situations. And you know what, I don't know if there is, like I said, a picture in here that I've been stumped with. Like every single issue I've had, like there's toilets, there's either a picture of a cow on here split up into all different pieces where you can choose what part of the cow you want to eat. It's amazing. Invest in it, guys. I'll put the link down below to where you can find this book as well. The scenery in France, following the Tour de France, is amazeballs. I'm not sure if you can see out to my right, but there are ginormous windmills, like the huge ones from, are they on ET? They are ginormous. I love them. Like every time when I first got to France and I started following the trip, I took so much footage of these things. I think it went a bit overboard, but they are so big and they just spin so slowly. Amazing. Look at this. We've got yellow sunflowers, the huge windmills, about 10 of them going, and the sun setting over here. Wow. Tour de France. Magnifique. Seeing the tour come through up close and personal, amazing. At the ends of the stages, they have like the presentation where they give away the hill climb jersey and the winner's jersey and so on and so on. And then the riders will just cruise off and go back to their big buses, and then actually say good day to them and pat them on the back. It's also close. Like there's no security pushing you away. They're just there. There's a road, there's a footpath. They're just coming straight through. Have a photo with them, and some of them are like really friendly. I think it helps if you actually speak French or their native language. But there's so many people just having a yarn with them. Like it's great. I just love that whole aspect of it. It's so friendly and relaxed. You'll see so many camper vans. Seriously, the traffic is horrendous. If you want to get to a stage, you need to get there generally the night before to get a good posse. Depends where you are. The starts and the finishes, like I said, are crazy. They are packed. You need to get there early. If you go to the middle of a stage, depends where you are. If it's a hill climb, depends what part of the hill it is, that can be ridiculously packed as well with camper vans. People can put their van there up to 2 weeks in advance, camping out, waiting for the stage. Now, I'm not sure if these are locals from France or tourists, but 2 weeks is a long time to wait for the tour to come through. Generally, I just went there the night before, found my posse and set up the van. I actually really enjoyed the hill climbs. I made my way to a hill climb and I actually saw the guy that dresses up as the devil in that red devil outfit, Diablo. Saw him on the side of the road painting this ginormous bike in the middle of the road, so I just pulled over, had a yarn with him, parked my car actually where he was painting the bike on the road, great position, and that night was amazing. It was in the mountain tops, there was some chalets off to the side, huge pine trees running all the way around me, and this thick cloud just sitting in the mountains, just slowly wafting down. Had some great shots. The scenery in France, following the Tour de France, is amazeballs. You will love it. Now, a good thing about the tour is people getting dressed up. Now, I brought a whole heap of Aussie gear and whatever I've got some flags down here that I put on each side of the van, and it just shows your true colours, and it actually attracts people too, because they're like, wow, you come all the way from Australia? Far out. How far is that? Like 6 hours? I'm like, more like 21, 22 hours in a plane. And they're generally pretty gobsmacked that someone would actually sit in a plane for that long. But it does strike up a lot of conversations, getting dressed up in the Aussie gear. I had an Aussie apron, bow tie, armband, sunnies, and cycling hat. And I think it really helps you get in the mood for the tour. It is a fun adventure. One thing you'll notice when you're in France is that in summer the sun sets so late. I'm talking like 9:30. So you have plenty of sunlight to actually get to your next stage. And then twilight actually goes for probably another hour after that. So it still might be light until we're talking 10, maybe later at night. So it's great. If you're cruising on the road, you're not actually driving in the dark to get to your next stage. Depends what time you leave, but it is a great thing to still be able to cruise on the road, see the scenery, and actually get to your stage while driving in light as well. Now, the Tour de France is about the race, but it's hugely supported by sponsors. Now, these sponsors are a vital part of the tour, because the tour, it's so amazing because the whole thing is free. You get to go and chase it around, watch the riders, and experience the whole race for free. So the sponsors, I guess, pay for a lot of this. So when you line up somewhere or you find a position for that day's stage, probably generally between an hour to 2 hours before the actual tour comes through, all the promo vehicles will run through. Now there's stuff from people have water to dried sausages to hats. There's so much different sponsors that are a part of this event. And the great thing about it is that you actually get so many freebies. I got a whole bag full of freebies down here. We got like hats. I got a whole heap of hats. I got t-shirts. I got key rings. I got water. I got muffins. I got dried sausages. I don't know. Yeah, it's a bit weird. What else? Frisbees, balls, shades for your car. There's so many different things, and you virtually have to fight for it. All the locals come out from their town because it's such a big thing for their town, because it doesn't come through every single year. So they're all lining the streets trying to get their freebies. So you got to kind of just go all in to get the freebies if you want to get some. But if you're following the tour for a while, it goes for 3 weeks, you're bound to get a bag full of goodies. Now when you're on the highways, there's heaps of tolls and ticket areas. So there's areas where all you do is just take a ticket and the boom gate opens. And there's other areas where you actually put your ticket in and you pay for that stretch of road. Some are super cheap, like a couple of euro, and others will cost you up to, like, I think my biggest one was maybe 40 euro. Depends what route you take. You can do the tour, I guess, without doing tolls. It's a lot slower. You go through all the country areas, but I guess you see a different side of France. I've done a mix of doing the highways. I'd say mostly, maybe 80% of my journey has been highways. But the highways have actually been pretty beautiful. Like, you're going past huge farms of sunflowers, of wheat, of I don't know what else. There's just so many beautiful colours, and you're still going through towns, and I thought it was still beautiful actually going along the highways. Obviously there's some parts where it's just a general highway and there's not as much to see, but some of the sunsets I saw with offset with like huge yellows of sunflower fields, amazeballs, absolute amazeballs. You're going to really love following the tour, just the journey, the adventure in the van. One great thing about it is that all the camper vans, it's like a convoy, and it's like everyone's in it for the adventure, and that is part of the whole trip, is the driving, like getting to each stage. And you just need to relax because you will be in traffic, and you just need to smile through it. There is no rush to get there, and you will find a spot, and it's not the end of the world if you don't get the prime posse, because there's so many stages that you can do. Now, while driving in France, you really have to be wary of all the signage. There is an overload of signage and all at weird angles as well, and it's made my experience of driving a little bit difficult, trying to understand what the signs mean. And they're sometimes at weird angles, so it looks like it's saying go left here when it was actually up further, or it was back this way. And the speed limits on the roads, stick to the speed limits, and always keep an eye out for the speed when it changes, because they don't show you these signs as often as I guess you see in Australia. So it might be 90 and it'll pop up to 130, and then it might go down to 70, and they'll only maybe show you one sign on either side of the road. If you miss it, you'll still be flying along at 130. And there are speed cameras over here. Now, they do give you warning. I'm not sure if they have to give you warning or if they give you warning for every single speed camera, but there generally is one big sign. It will have a picture of a bike, a car, and a truck with kind of like a radar, kind of like you'd see for Wi-Fi. You'll see that, and it kind of means that there's a speed camera up ahead. And they do flash you, and they will get you. And there are mobile units where the police will sit, and they'll get you as well. So be wary of the speed limit, and drive safe when you're following the tour. There's no rush. Now, a great thing about all the camper vans, there's a thing that they do, and that is the Tour de France. When they come through a town, the whole route will be signposted with these yellow arrows that say Tour de France, and that's so the riders can find their way through easy and not get stuck off on some wrong turn. But it's easy as well if you go find a town, drive around and find these yellow signs. But when the tour's finished for that stage, everyone goes and grabs these signs. And I'm pretty sure it's allowed because everyone has it on their vans. And I was even at a stage where the council guys come through and they clean up all these signs. It happens pretty quickly, so you need to get them quick. And he just gave them to me when I said, "Oh, do you mind?" And the great thing about it is that all the camper vans put them on their car. You see them driving around, there's arrows pointing all different directions on the van. And what I like to do is like park my van on a corner or a straight and turn my sign to have the arrow pointing the direction that the riders need to go. It's just a little bit of fun, but I'll show you. This is one of the arrows here. I've just got it on the front of my van. Big and bright. I got one in the front and one on the side across there. So if you want to get part of the adventure into your car of the Tour de France, grab one of those signs and chuck it on your car, and you'll blend in with the rest of the caravans. Well, this is Dan, and that was my experience of the Tour de France. I hope this helps when you're planning your tour. There's so many different ways you can do it, and there may be some things that I've missed or you'd do differently. Obviously, this is my experience, but I hope these little bits and pieces help for making a more enjoyable experience for your Tour de France and a more well-rounded experience of your travel through France. You're going to have a ball. Slightly jealous of you guys if you're going off on this adventure. I'd love to do it again. Please leave your comments down below. I'd love to hear your feedback of your experiences or any questions. I'd love to try and help you guys when you're planning your trip. Like the video and please subscribe to our channel. We're covering so many countries of the world, and I'm trying to cover all things from food to adventure to festivals, give you all the tips and tricks. So stay tuned and you get the latest videos when they come up. We try and put up a video every single week. We've got plenty of social media channels. Follow those and follow my journey around the world. Alright, well, I've still got another 1.5 hours till I get to Paris, and got a day there and then I fly off home. So, au revoir.